Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Todd Tinkers with Tech. This is my inaugural video for this YouTube channel. I'm hoping to start providing weekly videos of me messing around with different types of tech projects, computers, could be music gear, anything tech related, retro video gaming, arcade games, just general nerd stuff that I happen to be into. So for this video, I'm going to do a little teardown on this HP small form factor PC. This is the HP EliteDesk 800 DSDT, I think it is. It's a small form factor machine. You can see it doesn't have any slots on the back and has an external power brick for power. But this thing does have one really interesting feature that I wanted to get into, and you'll see the results of tinkering with that particular feature. So let's get into it.
So as you can see, it's a really small compact case. It's got 4 USB ports on the front, audio in and out. It's got the small laptop style DVD drive built into it. On the back, you've got 2 display ports, no HDMI, but you do have a VGA port, which could be useful in certain situations. And you know, these are typically office computers, and that's why you can get them so cheap, is because, you know, offices will eventually upgrade these and they just want to get rid of them, so they're really inexpensive. So let's pop it open here. It's basically just got one thumb screw on the back that contains the top cover. So underneath here you can see the little DVD drive, and that's one of the things I'm going to upgrade here. So underneath the DVD drive, you pull this latch, and the 3.5-inch hard drive pops out. In this case, it came with a 500 gigabyte drive. Obviously, you know, it's a 2.5-inch laptop style hard drive. Kind of cool the way they did this, the way it mounts in there. It's kind of interesting. It's got 2 SODIMM DDR3 slots in here. This particular unit came with 12 gigs of RAM. There you've got the processor cooler. So to remove the bracket that holds the drives in, there's this little thumb tab that you pull up on, and that enables you to slide the whole thing back after you've removed the 2 screws that hold it in. There's 1 screw in the back, 1 screw in the bottom. So that whole unit just kind of slides out. So in here you can see the guts of the motherboard. You've got an mSATA slot and another slot for Wi-Fi card. This machine didn't come with either of those installed. So because it uses a laptop DVD drive, it's got this funky power connector on it, which is not standard with desktop drives. So I was looking at a way to deal with that in order to use that for an SSD. And the best option I found is this adapter that actually sort of mimics the size of the DVD drive and lets you slide a standard SSD into there. So here's a 1 terabyte drive. It just slides right in. If you want to screw it in, you can. There's screw holes in the bottom, but not really necessary. But that way you can reuse that cable, which will just plug in there, and enables you to upgrade that DVD drive to something more useful, like a terabyte of storage. So here's where things get a little more interesting. You can see that slot there on the bottom of this motherboard. What the heck is that slot? That is actually a slot for a graphics card, believe it or not. It's an MXM Type A slot. So I immediately went on eBay and found this Quadro M1000M graphics card from a laptop that was an HP Also had to buy an upgraded power supply in order to supply enough power for the graphics card. This is what came with it originally. You can see it came with a heatsink. Mine did not come with a heatsink, so I had to go through my parts bin and find a heatsink that would work. Tried a bunch of different options, couldn't really come up with anything that would particularly work. Then I eventually found this PNY heatsink from an ancient graphics card. I tried to figure out a way to mount it and managed to get it mounted. However, once I did get it mounted and installed, I had to deal with figuring out how to power that fan. So I noticed on the motherboard there was this thing that looks like a fan header. It looks exactly like a fan header, but turns out it's not a fan header. Then I tried splitting the 4-pin fan that's on the back of this box using a splitter cable, and the machine didn't like that. It wouldn't boot with it because it said it could no longer sense that fan. So after all that, unfortunately, I could not get this computer to post with that graphics card installed. It just would not boot. No matter what I tried. I tried a million different things. I looked on all kinds of forums. There's people suggesting different things in the BIOS. I tried every possible setting. I could not get this thing to boot. So I gave up on the graphics card, unfortunately, and just decided to upgrade the processor instead. So I went and unscrewed the existing heatsink. Comes off pretty easily. You unclip the fan in the front. Took some isopropyl alcohol, cleaned off the existing thermal grease. It was pretty dried up. So got that off the original i3 processor and then cleaned up the heatsink, got all the dried up thermal paste off of that. So in these Intel processors, to remove the processor, you just kind of push down on this level and then pull it out towards you and up. It'll slide this sort of case back, and then you very carefully remove the existing processor. Got to be super careful of the little pins underneath it. So this is what I'm going to replace it with, an i7 4771, which is a 3.5 gigahertz i7. Quite a bit more powerful than the i3 4330 that was in there. Obviously, you know, this is an old motherboard, so it's Intel Haswell technology. It's not the latest and greatest, but you know, might as well upgrade it as far as we can. I picked up this processor. It came with a motherboard that I bought, and it turned out that the motherboard was bad, but this processor, thankfully, is still good. So close the lid up and push the lever underneath the little tab again. And then it's time to apply some thermal paste. I just use this stuff, NB Max Pro. Saw a review that this was rated the best budget thermal paste, so I'm not going to use the super fancy stuff for this cheapo machine, but this stuff seems to work quite well. So reinstall the heatsink, tighten up the screws. So I'm just going to clean the dust off the fan there. Looking a little dirty, so just going to wipe all the dust off of it, make sure it's nice and clean before reinstalling it. Pretty easy to reinstall. It just kind of clips in. There's some bottom clips on the front of the machine, and then the sort of fan shroud thing just sits on top of the cooler there. It's a nice design. It's actually the fans they use in this box are very quiet. I was impressed by how quiet it actually is. And look, it booted nicely, no issues. My i7 4771 at 3.5 gigahertz is happy. So now I'm just going to reassemble the machine. Drive cage goes in. There's a screw underneath the 2.5-inch drive, and then one in the back there.
So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, do me a favor, please subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna hopefully be bringing you these types of videos weekly. And hit the like button if you can, leave me some comments. If you have any idea on how to get the graphics card working in this machine, I would love to hear from you. So please feel free to leave some comments if you have any good suggestions on how I might be able to get the card to work. So thanks a lot. Have a good one.